I like that. Oh, I really like that.
I mean, this was also in the first video, just not the preview version because I didn't finalize the intro.
Right, that would require me to watch all of... Anyway.
I know, I do watch them a number of times. Salvatore, this is Jeff.
This is David.
We're playing Asura's Wrath.
Yay.
Last time on Asura's Wrath, we kind of like blew up the planet, I guess.
Well, we punched the giant demon living in the planet in the face.
And then he was like, "Oh, I'm sleepy now," and then he went back to sleep.
This is Asura's residence.
Yes, Asura's residence. That's the slightly less violent prequel.
Asura.
Durga.
Indeed.
That's not a super feminine name, but okay.
There's not going to be a whole lot of time in this episode spent actually playing the game. This episode 2 is very, very short.
Right.
Welcome home, Father.
And I'd like to point out, I looked it up.
Thanks.
The character designer for...
General Asura, the Emperor summons
Robot. Machination Troop Operator.
you. He awaits your presence in the throne room.
I wonder if he's going to present you with a medal for defeating Vlitra. She's right. You mustn't keep the Emperor waiting.
For Dynasty Warriors didn't do their stuff, it just looks like it.
All right.
Like, okay.
Fine, I'll go see the God Emperor of our people.
I guess. Whatever.
Robot walks weird, which I don't know why I'm pointing that out like it's novel.
Like, oh no, my immersion. This robot walks weirdly. I can see how that would be the one thing that you would latch on to. You're like, nope, I'm done.
Yep. I'm gonna assume Emperor be dead.
Yeah, he dead.
He very dead.
He very dead. The name of the episode was Betrayal and Vengeance. So dramatic bird flight shot. I want to say that shot was invented by The Simpsons.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Insurrection! Treachery!
Just listening to the audio commentary on one of the earlier seasons. It was, I think, the director and showrunner of the episode, where it's just like a smash zoom with like a dude saying no, and then a bunch of birds,
There must be some mistake.
going out of a tree. And they were asking him if he did that as a reference to anything, and he didn't seem to have a particular reference for it. Just thought it was funny. So it might be that it was done before, but that's at least the first example I could think of. It was probably early 90s.
What the hell's happening?
It's got to have been done before that.
Maybe it's from the birds.
I guess it could be. I've not seen the birds.
Neither have I. I know of it.
Yeah, I know of it. It's not... I've seen a number of Hitchcock films, but I don't know.
Asura!
That one never really struck me as... Yeah, whatever.
It
Wisen's
wasn't me.
chewing up the scenery again.
Enough of your lies.
Just look at that hand acting.
Myself. Damn you.
Powerful hand acting. Oh, sweet, we can actually fight.
Okay.
Very briefly here. We haven't gone through the fight tutorial yet, and we don't even have a health bar or anything like that. So...
Okay.
Well, we're still being graded, though.
Of course. And you can grab their sticks and beat them with
Yes, you can. You kind of get the gist of the fighting system here. You have, light attacks, heavy attacks. Heavy attacks are on a cooldown.
it. Asura looks real mad at the camera and everything blows up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a theme. You get Y counters if you knock them down onto the ground and things like that. Destruction. Stab. Wait. Dink. As he do. That was actually a fairly mild. Oh, look, with halfway point.
Wait, what? What?
I told you this episode is extremely short.
Oh God.
This episode of Asura's Wrath is brought to you by, which is something we talked about in the previous episode, but today's anime recommendation, which you should go out and see because it's amazing, is Puella Magi Madoka Magica. This is a fantastic anime. It is a genre deconstruction of the magical girl genre. Okay, because I know that you're just you don't know that you want that, but you actually do want that.
It's kind of like Stella, yeah.
Yeah. So a genre deconstruction is it's just a show or a story, and it doesn't have to be anime. It can be done in books or video games, movies, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cabin in the Woods or Buffy, I think would be good examples of these. I think,
and they're both Joss Whedon.
Yeah, those happen to both be, yes, part of the Whedonverse.
Yes.
I was tinting my fingers. That doesn't play on but I'm just totally doing it.
I heard it.
But Puella Magi Madoka Magica is a genre, as I said, it's a genre deconstruction of the magical girl genre. So genre deconstruction itself is it takes the tropes and the cliches of a given genre, and deconstructs them. In this case, that just means interprets them in sometimes a more literal or slightly more realistic way. In this case, you have tropes of girls and the little girls and transforming into their like superhero counterparts, and like fighting crime or fighting evil witches and things like that. And it's all very like upbeat and very happy, and there's lots of like frilly dresses and like lots of like heart motifs and these kinds of things. Yeah, Sailor Moon being the example of the genre. Okay. Yep. And this and Madoka Magica is great because it takes a more somber and realistic, like I said, plot about how these kinds of things would actually affect people. Or these little girls are basically, throwing their lives away.
Oh, right.
And because, it's like you get these power. It's the classic power for a price kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And especially in the case of Madoka Magica, if you're asking this of girls, or even it doesn't. In this case, it focuses on girls, but even just like kids in general, there's not necessarily enough life experience to weigh the, like the repercussions of their decisions.
Right.
So there's like a little bit of taking advantage of them and their innocence and that kind of thing, and creating these. Well, anyways, it creates problems. Both in the world and in their own psyches, and it gets super, super dark.
Wow.
It gets so dark. It is so fascinating. The art style is fantastic. The each of the sort of monster of the week kind of things, which are called witches, they each have a unique sort of pocket dimension that they exist in. Mm-hmm. And each of the pocket dimensions has its own unique art style, and they're extremely bizarre things, like a South Park-esque sort of cardboard cutouts. So I mean, like paper mache kind of stuff, and like
I didn't expect to hear that.
Hand puppets, and like sort of like low res, not low res, but like low frame rate moving bizarre things as an example of one of them.
Become Speed Racer partway through? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Another one might be all the textures are like floral patterns, but they're they're not set into the. I'm trying to remember how to describe this. It was the art style they used in Gankatsuo.
Oh,
where it's like you have like the texture on like a shirt or something would be a background image that doesn't change. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that kind of stuff where like everything looks very weird, and each one of the different witches has its own bizarre and rather unique art style, and some of them are very abstract or psychedelic. So that also is the appeal. So the story itself is very good, very dark, and the art style is fantastic. So I think that's awesome. That's on, it's like on Netflix, and it's places. Just go watch it. It's good. It's really good. You should go watch it. You should go watch it, David.
I should. You're right. I should. I really should.
And we're back. Hope you enjoyed that break.
The brief intermission.
Yes.
Oh, fancy pants.
Fancy pants. This one is that guy is apparently Steve Blum.
Really?
Sergey, yeah.
Huh.
Of all those people that sounded exactly like Steve Blum, only this guy was the one that actually was.
The flamboyant one is Steve Blum.
Which, is good for him. He has more range than just Steve Blum.
Okay.
Still got it in you.
Doesn't have to just do deep gravelly voice guy.
Let's cut to the chase.
Time for more hand acting.
I'll kill you myself.
That was subdued hand acting.
Yeah. Why did you left all the spears in your back?
Yeah, now I have spears in my back, which was not in the cutscene.
Well, it was.
It was, but when you burst, I don't know, when you burst out of it, it looked like there wasn't any spears.
Oh, yes, there it wasn't, yeah.
So, I don't remember how this goes, because like I said, I haven't beat the game, so I'm not entirely sure if it's a continuity error or if there is a scene missing that'll just be filled in later.
Yeah.
Could be either or. But hit that Y button and punched him in his freaking face.
Durga, be safe.
And those spears are just part of my armor now. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's just, it's a fashion statement.
What? Okay.
Porcupine chic.
Just be angry, be impaled. Always be angry, always be impaled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happened to the one that was sticking through his front?
I think it still might be there.
Hmm.
It might just be lower abdomen. Abdomen.
Save her.
I will. Save your strength.
Oh, Liam O'Brien is sad now. I feel like this might piss him off. That's a hunch. I don't want to jump to conclusions here.
Well, that is one of the ways that you can react to... Oh, the eye shaking.
This has got some shakiness there.
Yep. He had to rear back for that grit.
So it's a high quality anguished scream, I think.
Hey, they got her in a back to tank.
Yep. It's like, well, I guess we'll have to fight through all of these guys in our path of vengeance. Wait, here he comes. Well, that didn't take too long.
Yep.
Mithra!
Olga has a bit of a dick move, I'll point out in a second here.
Okay.
But we'll notice that Mithra is still
Out of my way!
like awake and alive inside that thing.
Move!
Been hit by electricity, but that's not Yasha's power.
Stand down. Tails.
Time for speed framing.
Yes. I did what was necessary.
This is a Ganondorf shot, yes.
Yes, he's totally getting it.
Decided to save this world. I will create a new civilization. A great rebirth. Save the world.
This is like the framing. Everyone places everyone.
Insane. I will bear the burden of your wrath and your life, Asura.
All right. It's the Emperor right now.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Sort of. Zeus is. Deus is doing a little Zeus action here.
Yeah.
More like Zeus, right? It's lightning.
No.
Okay. All right. No regrets. Not gonna apologize.
You never do. I wouldn't expect it of you.
Although Asura is not really representing himself very well in this.
No.
I'm gonna say encounter. This is not really a fight.
Your death shall be the foundation of my world.
How does that even work?
Not entirely sure, but it's more plot to go. You gotta have some reason to go on a rampage.
Right.
Like how the Karma Fortress is just exposed to space.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. It don't.
So that would imply that when Asura came up here, he literally just jumped from the surface of the planet to the tower.
I assume that is the case, yes. Okay, so here's the dick move on Olga's part. Okay, so you got your carbonite kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Frozen. Mm-hmm. Clearly, she did not do that before having her watch her dad die. It's like, we're gonna put you in the middle of this room, and Azura's gonna come in, and we're gonna murder the out of him, and you will watch. Like, that's kind of a dick move. But yeah, Asura, I think, is maybe a little displeased with the current situation.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to find out what happens next time on Let's Play Asura's Wrath.
All right.
Mm-hmm. We do have the intermission at the end here, so there's still a few little things. Of course, our ranking was not quite. It wasn't speedy, but in the end, the ass was enough for an S. So,
damn it,
that ass. Ahem. Just trying to keep it classy.
Right. Yes. Right. Keep me employed in the future.
You can't spell classy without ass.
I was gonna say Cly, but okay.
Well, I mean, I guess that's also true. So this is another intermission. I really like the art style on this one. It has the renderings of all of the 8 Guardian Generals and Strata in the middle in a Hindu style. So it's very interesting. I'll give the gist of this. Of course, you can, if you're watching at home, you can pause and play and whatnot. This intermission is the history that the other 7 wrote for the humans. So it's telling about how the Emperor was killed by Asura because of his ambition and his hatred for the others, and he was, like this huge monster and was destroying everything. But fortunately, and also that's just kind of an awesome
that is really awesome version of Asura.
Yeah, it's a propaganda poster version of him,
which is amazing. I wish you could play with that.
Maybe you can.
Maybe you can.
There's still time. So basically, they're painting themselves as the great heroes that came in to subdue Asura's wrath, so to speak. And this is them, the 7 deities that came down from the heavens and banded together and killed the evil Asura and banished him to hell, or I guess it'd be Naraka for their Hindu/science fiction version of mythology here.
Right. Sure.
So yeah, they're setting themselves up as, they're already pretty much all-powerful with their crazy abilities.
Yeah.
But just being referred to as demigods is apparently not enough, so...
They want to be gods. Yeah.
Now they're placing themselves as proper deities. But it's a Japanese game, and deicide is sort of a thing that happens frequently,
So now it's a septideicide.
Septideicide. Working title. All right, we'll see what happens to Asura in the next episode, which will be put out sooner than later because I recorded this in the next episode at the same time, just because this one was so short. So it's not quite this. It won't have the same delay it'll still be a little bit of a wait, just because it does still require editing and so forth. But
right.
But alas.
So if you're enjoying this particular Let's Play, this is happening because of Patreon, because somebody decided they wanted us to do Zur's Wrath, so they went ahead and Patreoned up. And so we
said to ourselves, what if someone gives us $100 a month? That's ridiculous. No one would do that. But we'll say that, sure, you can just say, please LP this game, and then we'll do it. Because, at that point, yes, I will LP a game for you.
For $100 a month, yep.
And then someone was like, yes, I would like that, please.
So here we are. And you don't have to give us $100 a month. $1 a month, it's we will love you. Maybe not as much, but we will love you.
Yes, it'll be welcome, quite welcome.
It will. This is something we would very much like to do without ads and just support through the people who watch us. And if we could do that, that would be fantastic. And it would mean that Jeff and I can do things that we enjoy more than things that we don't. Except he seems to be enjoying most of his things now. So it's more for me at this point. So please.
So please. David doesn't want to anymore. Help David not. Hashtag David no.
Actually, I think some of my this, so you maybe not put that part up.
Okay, I'll censor it so it sounds like you want just filthy, filthy things.